I've been using Luna for quite some time now, and I'll keep it 100 with you guys. Using this DAW completely changed how I approach everything mixing and mastering. In this video, which I intend to be one of many solely dedicated to Luna, I'll show you guys certain outstanding features on this DAW that simplifies mixing and mastering while also enriching your knowledge, understanding and appreciation of the art and science of mixing and mastering. By the end of the video, even if you don't end up checking out Luna, you have the answer to why your mixes don't feel quite the same as those pro mixes you love, and you know exactly what's missing in yours and how to fix it. We'll focus primarily on the signal flow features. Basically, the part your signal travels and how Luna does almost 50% of the mixing, leaving you with just few moves to get your desired results. I dare not forget to mention, Luna is free for both Mac and Windows. Yo guys, I'm B-Man and you're welcome to the video. Let's explore Luna. The way Luna is designed instantly lets you know you are into pro audio territory. Let's talk about the special signal flow features. First, you have the input. In an audio track, you can set up the mic input by clicking over here at this plus sign, which opens up this window at the left. Then you select your mic channel depending on which port your mic is plugged into on your audio interface. This automatically arms the track for recording as it would in any other DAW. But then on a burst track like this one, you can either call up the Nave Summon, which is a built-in mix extension that emulates the sound of the vintage Nave 80 series analog mixing console, or the API Summon, which emulates the rich, punchy sound of the legendary API analog mixing consoles. This instantly gives your audio a rich analog sonic character right from the get-go. You can choose to engage the summon on every burst track including the master track or just on particular burst tracks. The effect is subtle, but across multiple burst tracks, it becomes obvious and you just can't ignore it. Directly under the input, the next special feature that follows is the utility. The utility, among other things, is first a trim tool. It's actually your first level of gain staging. You can also use it to balance the stereo field of the signal. By clicking on this unlink button, for example, it lets you set separate levels for the left and the right signal. On this kick drum, for example, I can choose to reduce the volume of the kick just on the left, which makes it lean more to the right, or I can reduce more on the right, which makes it lean more to the left. When it's linked, whatever you do on each side applies to the other. The utility also lets you inverse the polarity of the sound. I already mentioned in our last video how polarity inverse works. It also offers delay compensation. This works in a situation where a signal is a bit delayed by a few milliseconds. You can correct it over here. With the utility, you can also engage the sidechain input. Let's say you want to sidechain the kick to the 808. You simply click on this plus sign here, and in the extreme left over here, you then select the kick. You see? This lets the 808 track read the signal coming from the kick. You can then disengage over here. Directly under the utility, your signal goes straight into the tape slot. Luna offers you 3 tape options to pick from. You have the oxide tape and the Studer A800 on audio tracks. Then on every burst track, including the master track, you have the ATR 102. The oxide tape does not emulate a specific real-world tape machine. Instead, it is an abstract emulation designed by Universal Audio to capture the essential sonic characteristics of professional analog tape in a simplified CPU-efficient format. The Studer A800 tape, which is also another unique Luna extension, emulates the legendary Studer A800 multi-channel tape recorder. This automatically adds that warm, punch, and saturated sound of the 2-inch analog tape directly into your signal. The ATR 102 is also a unique Luna extension that emulates the legendary Ampex ATR 102 master tape recorder. This is an industry standard 2-track open reel tape machine. It is famously used in professional recording studios for mixdown and mastering applications. This gives your mixes a vintage analog glue character and warmth. Check out this kick for example, first with no tape. The difference is subtle. You might want to use headphones or monitors to hear. Also, you can actually have different variations of these tape emulations. You can have the oxide here on the kick drum with a different preset and another on the 808 with a different preset. Whenever you select the tape machine and go to the extreme left, you see the different presets lined up here. On the vocal, I engage the Studer A800. This is what the dry vocal sounds like, first without.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
And with it.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
And you can push more saturation, which brings out more of that tape sound.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
You can also check out different presets by clicking over here, and right down here in the bottom left, you get so many different presets to pick from. I tend to use this last preset here, the Vocal 30 IPS 900. It's worked well for me so far, but then you want to mess around with all these different presets and hear what they have to offer. You can also click over here after choosing your preset and calibrate your tape even more. I'll make a separate video on tape calibration. With the Ampex 102, I often use it on the master track, though it basically works on every bus track. You would notice that on every bus track, the tape slot indicates as master tape, while on every audio track, it's simply tape. The Ampex can work on pre-fader mode or post-fader mode. When on pre-fader mode, it comes as the first effect before every other effect on your bus track or master track. On post-fader mode, it comes as the last effect on your bus track or master track. In this case, it comes after the limiter. You can always select this control here and calibrate the Ampex to get the best results out of it. You can come right down here and pick from the so many different available presets that give you a good sound right away. This is what the mix sounds like, first without the Ampex.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
And with it.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
Again without.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
And with.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
With the Ampex 102, it's so obvious. It gives the sound this polished, finished touch. These are all step-by-step additions that already give you a processed sound even before you start mixing per se. Guys, if you're gaining value so far, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It helps the channel. So after the tape, the signal goes directly into the console, and just like the summing, the console is also a special extension that is unique only to Luna. Luna offers you the API Vision console and the API 2500 console, which is a bus compressor. On the console, here's what happens. First, you have the input. This offers you the API preamp features like gain, pad, polarity, high pass. Then you also have two sweep filters, low pass and the high pass. After the input, you have the dynamic section. You can select over here or you can select directly on the console itself. This has the noise gate, expander and a compressor. And after that, you have the EQ section. It features two switchable EQ models, the 550L parametric EQ and the 560L graphic EQ. By clicking directly on the console, it opens up a console window here that displays all the different already mentioned features in the console. So you can shape everything in one instance. Let's check out a snare for example. It sounds like this without the console. And with it. These are the EQ moves I made on the snare. You can switch the EQ on and off from here. I also engaged it on the hi-hats. It sounds like this first without. And with it. I also engaged the console on the vocal. In fact, I did most of the vocal processing with just the console. I engaged the noise gate and the EQ. You shouldn't forget that the signal is coming from the tape machine before it gets into the console. This is the vocal with the console, but without the tape.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
With the tape and the console.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy.
You can tell that the vocal already sounds very processed with just these three moves: the summing, the tape, and the console.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy. It's Black Hero, my time is now.
And this is what the vocal sounds like with every other effect.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy. It's Black Hero, my time is now. So I'm killing every rapper and sending them to the cloud.
Normally, I engage the API 2500 on my drum bus whenever I need drum bus compression. I can either control directly from the console slot, or I can control over here on this window where everything is displayed. I can either set it up manually, or I can get over here and check out these available presets. I've found over time that most of these presets work like magic. You see how handy this gets? Instead of inserting a bus compressor as you would normally do on any other DAW, you have a separate dedicated slot for it in Luna that works as a Luna extension. So after the console, the signal goes directly into the insert. This is where you have your typical insert effects like EQ, deesser, compression, whatever. You can notice that before you actually get into the insert stage, you've already processed most of the signal, and when you get here, you have very little to do. So after the insert, the signal goes into the send. This is your typical send like reverbs, delays, parallel processing. After the send, the signal goes into the output. From the output, you can then route the signal into different bus tracks. Luna is actually very intuitive. This is what we have so far.
Let's tell the truth, it's getting darker for this industry. If you were smart, you feel the shifting of the energy. It's Black Hero, my time is now. So I'm killing every rapper and sending them to the cloud.
That was it for today, guys. You should check out this other video where I break down the signal flow in the AVALON Vt737. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And see you all in the next video. Take care, guys.